And so that was basically how I discovered, to my great dismay, that the March of Dimes has nothing to do with cute girls or attractive side pieces. So there goes my weekend plans.
Not usually, no. Oh my god, I still look like a fucking I look like a throwback to a
Uh,
what do I have a booger?
1970s British sitcom.
I was gonna say more like a 1940s cartoon or like a 1930s cartoon, something like that. I look
Uh,
terrible.
well,
This is crazy. My color settings are all fucked up. That's why.
yeah, because Logitech insists that I redo them literally anytime I turn the camera on. I've gotten pretty good at getting those presets reset. So,
There's just too many settings, man. There are too many fucking settings. I'm getting so irritated with having to like constantly fuck with this thing. It's also the USB things because if I unplug this webcam from USB and then I plug it in 10 seconds later,
mhm, everything
OBS
resets.
OBS will not only does everything reset, OBS will not recognize it and I have to add it again. So it'll be
Well, that
like
was like,
video capture device 6 because I've done it 5 times before.
I was mentioning to you before we started how like I've just hit this bizarre streak of nothing working,
Yeah.
like the Netflix, the network errors, all of that. And actually, it was funny because when I was doing today's promo, the little bit about like I decided I'd incorporate Netflix not working. Cool. And so I go into OBS. I'm like, oh, I'll just screen capture the process that goes into it.
Mhm.
And for some reason, this one time, OBS is like, nope, nope, black screen, no, 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 no video
Wait,
capture for you.
is that on Chrome?
Yeah.
I know exactly why that is. If you go to settings, you have to turn off the hardware acceleration.
Oh, yeah, but this the thing is, like, I had no problem with it last night.
Yeah, sometimes Chrome when Chrome updates and Chrome won't tell you when it updates anymore, and sometimes it'll randomly turn that hardware acceleration back on.
Oh,
That's the
right.
problem.
Yeah, that's right. Because I did update Chrome. Well, I reinstalled Chrome at the behest of Netflix, who were then kind enough to tell me to wait 24 hours and that if it persisted, they'd cancel my subscription for me.
Yep, that's what happened. Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So, yeah, I've been thinking actually, though, I think because Larry Kubiak said get Brave, and I think, yeah, my buddy Gabe was telling me Vivaldi's a good browser too.
I
But
use Opera a lot.
yeah. Yeah, so we'll
Opera,
see.
I need something that doesn't like take a whole lot of processing power for while I'm doing streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So if I like Opera because it just doesn't really use a whole lot, and
And
it's fine.
the prospect of getting away from Google is rather attractive.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can
Oh, it's
totally
sort
see
of like,
that.
yeah, it's like, sort of like if we found out tomorrow that like the MCU was no longer owned by Disney. I just like the movies more on
Mm,
principle.
mm, I don't
Because
know.
fuck
I mean,
Disney.
because Disney took them over. Like the MCU seems to have been doing pretty good. But then again, Disney also fucked up Star Wars, so I don't know.
Why? I mean, did you see Arlnaut's new Kylo Ren reacts video?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, just when as soon as they come to he's watching the clip of the new trailer and he's like, as soon as he sees the new droid, he's just like, "What's up, new merch?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm not the only one who sees it. I'm not crazy.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
at
yeah.
least not in that way.
Oh yeah. No, it's ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I hear that Brave was made by the former Mozilla engineers. Yeah, I'd never tried Brave, but like, I honestly, it's because every time I watch Drunken Peasants, they're like, "Download Brave now, do it." And I'm like, no, no, I refuse. And those are my friends, but I
Yeah, it's
still,
like, well, when I hear that, I'm like, it's funny because you ever read something and because you were thinking of something else, you somehow read that word where it didn't exist.
yeah, oh yeah,
Well, because I'm so used to hearing about coupon codes now, anytime I hear someone say use coupon code this, they could have said what the product is 100 times, and all I hear is NordVPN.
yeah, 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 dude, 100%,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Speaking of coupon codes, though, yeah, if you guys want, there's still that coupon code available for that Mines thing in New Jersey. Coupon code Saints save 10%, and if when we show up, it'll be a good old get together. It'll be the most interesting thing at the convention that's not at the convention.
I'm going to ruin that fucking convention by being a drunken shit show, and you can help me.
That's a terroristic threat. Never mind. I
Yeah, don't do
meant,
that.
yeah,
Don't do that.
I meant pliers, because
There we go. Much
I've
better.
never heard ripping out somebody's fingernails for fun at a gas station is terrorism. It's just run-of-the-mill crime.
Or fetish. Real
Dentist.
quick. That's
I'm.
right.
It's going to be. It's use coupon code Saints and get a free extraction, whether
That's right.
you need it or want it or not.
Uh, yeah, it's Raisu. Resubscribe 3 months in a row. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Crispy Gin. With the Prime subscription, 8 months so far. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you. My brain is completely brain dead from doing the roundup yesterday, and I would like to introduce you to why. It would be this. This is cachaça. That brainwash mailed me.
Yeah, he mailed me some too, but I had to close down my PO box a while ago, so who knows where that is.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Uh-huh.
Dude, this stuff, you need to respect this stuff. Like, I put it in this fancy decanter thing because
I was hoping it came in the decanter. I'm like, damn, that's
No.
some fancy shit.
No, it came in a full 5th size bottle, but it had a bottle cap on it rather than a screw. Like, if you open it, you can't close it back up. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Well, I'm just gonna fucking put it in that thing then. But yeah.
I'm so horribly confused all of a sudden. You know those things on the hospital they put on you when like they're gonna attach you to like the machines to monitor little white stickers
Yeah.
with a metal nipple?
Yeah.
I have no idea where this came from.
Okay.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
Have you been in a hospital recently?
Yeah, but they don't usually leave them on the floor.
Doesn't speak well for that hospital. That's all I'm gonna say.
No. I mean, the stories I got. So I had to go there to pick up my old man because he had a bit of an incident. So he lives in this little studio with poor ventilation, and he doesn't clean his oven apparently. And he put a pizza in, and then he either forgot about it or nodded off or something. So a bunch of smoke inhalation. Had a bunch of hallucinations. Went to the hospital, got treated. They took care of him. Good hospital. But man, the kind of shit he was telling me that he was seeing, he's like, yeah, it was really strange. Last night, Nurse Ratchet, the real Nurse Ratchet, came into my room and told me to sit up and get ready for the party. I'm like, what party? He's like, that was the thing. The entire floor was one gigantic Halloween party. And there were parade floats outside of my window, and I'm on the 5th floor, I think. So those were big floats. And I look out, and it's just a parking lot. I'm like, okay, now, are you aware that none of that actually happened? He's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm totally aware that none of it happened. But, man,
Right.
it was cool. Like, you really miss your days as a hippie, don't you?
Oh shit, that's great. Well, I mean, at least he knows he's hallucinating. You know.
Oh, yeah, and thankfully the hallucinations have passed now. And when I asked him about it the other day, he said, yeah, they're gone. And he said it in a way which sounded like he missed them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can kind of understand that. Like, if it's something rather interesting and poignant, you know, I would probably miss him too. It's kind of like if you've done a shit ton of acid and then you finally start coming down, you're like, aw, do I have to?
Yeah, that feeling when you start coming down off an acid trip is really depressing. As long as you've been enjoying it, and you're like, oh, it's like we know that you start to feel the roller coaster slow down and get ready to stop, and you're like, I want to go again.
Yeah, but you know you can't. You know,
Because you ate all of your acid already. Yeah.
Well, that and like, have you ever actually successfully managed to dose again right away?
No, because I usually eat all my acid at once.
It's awful. It is it is awful. It never works the way you think it's gonna work.
Was it like when you got like an old car and you've got just barely enough gas to keep fumes in the tank, so you want to start it up again and you're just jamming on that accelerator?
No, well, it's like you had to basically take twice as much as you did before since you're already on the way down. And like your body's starting to kind of get into this groove that it's comfortable again, and then you like jack it all up and it doesn't feel very good. If you want to have an acid trip last a really long time, the best way to do it is to take a really good amount and then just keep doing it every 2 hours.
Oh.
You'll go for a long time.
The Timothy Leary method, eh? So Well, so we've got 37 people here watching now. Welcome everybody. Welcome freak bitches to the Joe Rogan experience. No, wait, that's not correct.
That's not it.
But we're close. Yeah. I mean, we could just start. We could get like one of us could pretend to be what is it, Graham Hancock, start talking about ancient civilizations and their computers.
That's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. Jimmy, pull that up. That's fucking wild.
Although I gotta say, if you haven't caught it, if you guys get a chance, yesterday's chat with Anthony Jeselnik was pretty fucking brilliant. Yeah, I was like, some of them I watch and I'm just like, oh, this is dumb. This is boring. I'm going to go watch Animal Logic and learn about groundhogs or something.
Right.
But yeah, Jeselnik, and it wasn't even like the character, the villain, like edgy joke shit that he normally does.
Mhm.
Just a really good conversation. And yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of it. It inspired me to write a whole comedy set.
I like Anthony Jeselnik. He's really good.
Then I discovered all of that entire stand-up routine I wrote over the last couple days. Pointless. They no longer do open mic.
No?
Yeah. Oh well, that was another one of those things that just didn't work. It was like trying to get cap off the vape juice or trying to get Netflix. It's like, cool, I wrote a whole stand-up set. What time do you guys start? Oh no, that's on hiatus indefinitely. Why? I'm just gonna go out. I'm just gonna walk out on the sidewalk, walk down, and just start telling jokes to strangers. And then when they look at me weird and try walking away, I'll speed walk after them and do the rest of my set.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Man, would you like a rape joke today? I got a couple really good ones. Where you going?
Whew. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. I don't know. I can't stand most open mic nights. I had a friend of mine. Well, it wasn't even really a friend. It was somebody who was trying to get up in her guts when I was much younger, way back in the day. And she loved open mic, especially like the hippie jam sessions. And I couldn't stand them, but I really, really wanted to sleep with this girl. And so I tried, but I definitely did not succeed. And I had to sit through like 4 weeks worth of open mic nights. It was awful.
And were these just open mics? Like bring whatever. It's like a talent show. Like some fucking like some dirt farming hippie type gets up there with his dreadlocks and his 4-string guitar and starts playing whatever the patchouli inspired him to that day. Oh boy, because this is just bad stand-up comedy. Like I've been to a couple of them and they're bad, but you can't really hold it against them because they're trying and most everyone else isn't. It's nice too at open mic comedy nights because everybody goes there wanting to laugh. Like they want to have a good time, so they're not waiting for you to bomb. They know you're going to, but they're not holding their breath.
I mean, oh dear. Retarded. Oh, thank you, Larry. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Here it's a little bit different. Here is like slam poetry and hippie jam.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what Eugene. Well, at least that's what Eugene was. It might be a little bit more different now. But back in the day, it was like beat poetry, some obnoxious ass shit, and the like. There'd be somebody who had gotten one of those steel drums that's like really good for making like trancey, very Indian sounding music, and there'd be somebody who'd just gotten one like a week ago and still didn't know how to play it, but they thought they could. And so they go there and like, I would like to play for you some drum and take you through some guided meditation.
Just sounds like they like dropped a wrench like down into like a 2-story machine and just let it like fall through. Cling, clang, bang.
Oh yeah, and she's dirty ass dreadlocks. She's doing this kind of shit like. While she's playing and shit. Oh my god. Fucking awful.
You need to do is you need to run for and attain like office somehow so that you can get a bill passed to where attending those becomes like a jail or prison alternative for low level offenders. It's like, well, this is your 3rd DUI. We really like to punish you, but jails are kind of crowded, so you're going to have to attend 6 open mic nights a week for the next 3 weeks. Like, please no, send me to prison.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's wild. It's really really wild. For the open mic nights here, you'd probably love them just because you like watching a shit show as much as I do. I think I would like them more now than I used to. You know, like
Just bring that decanter of yours.
oh
Just
my
like
god, the
kill
cachaça.
kill a third of it and see if it makes it any better.
This stuff will fuck your ass up. God damn, dude. You know what it smells like? It reminds me of there's this buddy of mine. Here, I'm gonna send you a link, so you gotta go to the whole screen real quick. There's this
Yeah.
buddy of mine. He's a moonshiner,
Ooh.
and he wanted to make whiskey, but his whiskey always tasted kind of different, kind of off. And a lot of that was because he did not use the mass-produced shitty molasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, no, it was his rum. His rum always tastes weird, because rum is usually made from molasses, and this is the molasses that are left over from the industrial processing of sugarcane into sugar. So you get this sludge, and then you turn it into rum. Well, the molasses he would get would be like these very specific, refined, high-quality molasses, and cachaça is made out of sugarcane, and it actually tastes a lot more like his stuff than it does like regular rum. That stuff is always like, whoo! I attribute that taste and that smell to moonshine. So I'm like, I don't know. It fucked my ass up.
Well, I'm still thinking of going and getting some like Welch's grape juice and just dropping some bread yeast in it and just putting it in a closet for a few weeks to see what happens.
Yeah, dude. No, I love the idea. I love the idea of closet booze.
I like, well, I mean, I love it because after the show when Memory was on, when I raised this, she's like, no, I know all about making hooch. You're not gonna like it. I will find out my damn self alongside the rest of the audience here as I go down that lovely path of TJ Kirk was on the show. No, he fucking wasn't.
Hey, give me one quick second.
Yeah. Now it's funny that he mentions like rum and sugarcane and the like though, because back when I used to work in the beer industry, we'd have rum night, rum club it was called, with this old timer who was like he was a rum connoisseur, and he'd show up with like a bag with 5 or 6 different bottles of like not just top shelf but real like specialty stupid you need to go way out of your way to get it kind of rum.
Yeah.
Well, after several months, because it was like once a month we'd do this, and it'd be like a 2-hour session, and it wasn't to get drunk, and we weren't doing shots. We'd have like little sips, try it, get maybe a little buzz. But the shit I learned from that dude, and like I got to a point where it was like that snobby sort of beer wine tasting thing where we'd sit there, and before we'd smell it, and we'd ruminate on it, and then we'd start hearing like, that's plantation sugar, and is that a hint of cinnamon? Yes, that is. And yeah, rum's an interesting thing. It's a lot like whiskey or scotch, where like when you get into it, all of a sudden you're like, I almost enjoy knowing about this shit as much as I enjoy getting fucked up on it.
Okay, so Larry Kubiak, since everyone is rating fast food chains, here is why Little Caesar is number 1. I'll probably be the only one laughing at this shit, but I stopped giving a fuck. All right, here we go. Just as a side note, I helped a dude do some editing on a security footage for Little Caesars a long time ago, and it looked exactly the same. I think they're all built exactly to the same spec.
No, they actually no. The fast food chains that have their own buildings almost always are. I just love that this guy had the good sense to like do some Molly before going into work.
Oh yeah.
The best way to quit your job right here. Um,
This makes me really happy, actually. Holy shit.
this is probably the best Little Caesars commercial I've seen in a long time.
One more
This
time.
is what this is what happens when you get promoted from sign waiver to inside employee.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you like drugs. My favorite part is that right there.
Oh
That's my
yeah,
favorite part.
you want to see what I got here?
Yeah.
Come on in. Now, do they actually? Well, how long did it take them to get fired? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope they didn't get fired at all. That would be great if like they managed to dodge that one.
No,
Because
I hope they did get fired, and then they both went off and got sick of the same job at Subway together. We need a series, goddammit.
oh yeah.
Can you imagine what they do with those Italian urban cheese rolls? Sexy. I shudder to think.
Yeah. I shudder to think. Too much.
Vapors. I'm getting the vapors.
So this is an ancient video, but Mems recently sent this to me today, and I forgot how fucking wonderful it was. So we're gonna remind you of how wonderful it is.
This has been a nice time for me. This year I have made 55 years teaching in this town. And for the students on this show tonight, go to the First United Methodist Church. That includes me. I go to First United Methodist Church. Reverend Jones, Bill Jones opened our show last time, and he's not here tonight. So John Dacre's here, Bob Spencer, Michelle Casey, and I all go to First United Methodist Church. So John is going to sing a song that's very popular nowadays, and it's Christ the Lord is risen today, and he's going to do Amora too, okay?
My name is John Dacre. Lord is risen today. Hallelujah. Sons of men and angels say hallelujah. To your voice in triumph's high. Hallelujah. Voice in when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. What?
Whoop.
Amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling, as a bell ring, more. Amore.
Worry.
You're in love when you know that you feel some more. But you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore.
Oh Christ, what was? Oh fuck! I saw one recently. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was Motley Crue. Where they gave it that same thing. He's like,
Oh, yeah. I love when one of my other ones that I really like is when people do they'll take a live performance of something, and I remember it because they did this to Motley Crue, where they're like, we just isolated out the channel for what's his name, Vince Neil.
yeah.
Yeah, the lead singer. We isolated just Vince Neil's vocals and stripped everything else out, and then you just have somebody who dubs over the whole song.
No, I think that might have been. I think it was a Vince Neil bad singing. Let's see, Dr. Field. No, I'm saying it. Now, one thing I'm reminded of. Have you ever seen Creed Shreds?
No.
Okay, I think this is important. I'm gonna send it to you real quick, and then we'll share it with everybody.
Okay.
This is classic. This is something that's been around for a while. 1.6 million views, but it's fucking precious.
All right.
Oh yeah, Beach Boys Shreds. The Shreds series is just great. Like they did Slipknot too, which is good.
Oh God.
All right, we're about to play some Duke it round. Let's do it.
You sit here with me?
You got to breathe, drink the breathe. All I want to scream is, yes, sir! Yeah, I don't know why I'm always doing that. We're gay, oh yeah, that's right, we're gay as homie, oh yeah. Now, stroke me, stroke it. Oh, you do the 5 days like, yeah, that's right. You shit, yeah, hey. You can jerk it. Yeah. Well, I had to take off my gloves. How about I say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Put your cock right on my ass.
You sit here with me.
Let your cock rattle my ass.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, there's a whole series of them too. They did Slipknot. I think Larry was saying they did Beach Boys.
Oh God, I think somebody said Elvis was done at one point too.
See, I reduced the.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they.
Oh God.
It's like, you know, and the sad thing is too, you probably couldn't even get away with making this kind of shit these days. You just get like DMCA'd by Sony or some shit.
Hey you!
You got the cream. Now drink the cream.
All right.
See, I reduced the contents of different books to gum form. You chew it, and you know it.
Tastes fishy. Call me Ishmael. Starbuck, it's the great white whale. I'll get your mother dick.
Give me a piece of that. It tastes like fried chicken. Oh, Ashley. Oh, Rhett. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. That's crazy!
Cut off prevention.
That's pretty. That's spicy, actually.
Oh.
Ooh.
This has been a great run we've had on Twitch, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you over on D Live, where there's
No.
nothing but that shit.
It's not that bad yet.
Oh, I know.
It's not that bad. Not yet. But it will be.
If there's one thing we can count on YouTubers flocking to a new platform to do, it's sync that platform.
Yes, that is exactly what they do.
Yeah, it's
There's a reason why somebody would be like, well, I don't want to stream on my YouTube channel or on Twitch. Why would they not want to stream on those things?
YouTube I can understand because YouTube sucks.
Oh no, because they'll lose their YouTube channel. They want to keep that.
Well, it's funny though because like YouTube refugees as it is, that they are kind of like a demolition crew or like a hit squad, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, all you have to do if you want to start up the next big streaming platform and dominate your competition, advertise the living shit out of your competition to the edgiest channels you can find. They'll be gone in a month.
Yes, absolutely. Give me one quick second. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the kiddo, and he's banging around in the backyard.
It's fine. I'll hang with the chatty chats. How's it going, chatty chats? Irritable
do you want me to put on the first news article?
Yeah, let's get to the first news item because I like this one, and then we can watch the video when you get back.
Okay, cool.
This one is just it's a pretty neat all of a thing. Dog's life for Australian sharks as playful pooches interrupt feeding frenzy. Now we'll get to the video when he gets back, but most people seeing sharks in the shallows would get out of the sea immediately, but a group of dogs in Australia have shown that they're made of stronger stuff. The bold canines were filmed splashing around in the surf, seemingly playing with several sharks, trying to feed off Murray Island, one of the Torres Straits islands between Papua New Guinea and far north Queensland. Greg McKinnon from Irvine, who filmed the unlikely encounter, first noticed a hubbub in the shallows and saw a group of sharks had corralled a shoal of small fish into the shallows to trap and eat them. Their feeding frenzy was interrupted by a gang of dogs who jumped into the water and began chasing and trying to playfully bite the predators. Australian dogs see a school of sharks, and they say, "Oh, it's a new friend! It's a new friend!" At one point, 3 of the pooches surrounded one shark, which thrashed its tail violently to get away. In the video, unseen people appear to be calling on the dogs, but the animals all involved appeared unharmed after the encounter, which seemed to be more fun for the canines than the big fish. Mr. McKinnon, his site supervisor, said the bizarre incident happened a couple of weeks ago as he walked down the beach after work. It kind of makes you wonder if this isn't like a regular thing in Australia. I found this story and I absolutely loved it. During the show, that will be great. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna see what you're doing because I'm not even in the Discord. Well, fuck me.
Hey, you
got the creed.
Oh, are you looking at what Anime Moon was saying?
Well, actually, I just realized also that I wasn't in the live show room yet.
Oh, am I?
No, you're not either.
Okay, I'll get it.
But yeah, so during show, I'm gonna take a look here, see what we got.
I grabbed it. It's a quick video clip.
Okay, so, well, play the video here because I've seen it already, but this is pretty cool to see.
Oh, what Anime Moon did?
No, the video on this article.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Now, are you familiar with what happened?
No.
Okay, well, you're about to see. That's a school of sharks off the coast of Australia.
Oh.
They've penned up a bunch of fish to go into a feeding frenzy, and then dogs.
Hello, sharks. Hello,
dogs.
sharks.
Hey, sharks. Hey, friend. Hey, sea pupper. What you doing? You want some boops?
Hi. Do you want to play? Do you want to play? We love to play with things until they break. Hello.
They're not even attacking too. They're just playing with the shark. It's just playtime. It's like, oh yes, vicious swimming. The ultimate murder machines of the ocean are on the beach now. Oh, new friend. This is why dogs are in fact the best.
They are the best, 100%.
Even when they do stupid shit, it still works out. Now the sharks are gone and the dogs are just like, oh, fine. And on the video, you can hear when you hear the audio, you hear all of the owners calling for the dogs, and they just don't give a fuck. They're like,
Nah,
no,
they don't care.
I got a new friend here.
Have you seen this thing? It's amazing.
Hey, this is like the fish you have at home, except bigger. Can we bring this one home? I'd love to bring this thing home. We could put it in the pool. I love the pool. Can we bring it and put it in the pool so I can play with it in the pool?
All right, so context for this next video, Anime Moon says, I found out what happens to Paul Joseph Watson, Jordan B. Peterson, and Ben Shapiro 10 years from now. Shapiro is the one in green. Okay?
What a day. I really need to hurry up and get that pool installed. Mother of, what the hell are you? Why the hell am I always stuck with the mentally challenged opponents? I don't speak Chinese. 1 second. Kermit!
What do you want, bitch?
Kermit, what the hell is this?
Oh, hell no. That's a Cyberman. There's only room for one green shorty in this here cell games. So go on. Get him moving.
What's he saying?
He said he's gonna blow you.
What?
Oh, up. He said he's gonna blow you up. Sorry. My Cyberman's a little bit rusty.
He's gonna blow me up? Ha! Him and what army? Oh, shit.
So, when this is all over, can I get one of those, N-word passes? Finally, my life's goal has been completed. I can finally say it. Subscribe to Double Artemis, Nick!
That was different. Now that Kermit the Frog has weighed in on the N-word question, I'm sure it'll arrive on Sesame Street any day. It's like Elmo learns about the N-word. But it has a pass? Yes, Elmo. Like a bus pass. How do I get one? That was precious. Addy Monster, I certainly just witnessed a thing that happened.
Indeed.
Yes, you did. We all did. Except for those who are watching the show and not paying attention.
I don't want to be mean. It was a thing. Thank you very much for the submission.
It was a clever shitpost. As the person responsible for our promos, I can't legally or justifiably talk any kind of shit.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It's just moving on. So, next up, Jesus was collected from Earth by a space vehicle.
Yes.
This comes to us courtesy of theweek.co.uk. Declassified files from the CIA archives include information about a claim.
Wait. I'm gonna need you to read this in an Alex Jones voice.
All right. Declassified files from the CIA archives include information about a claim when Jesus is said to have ascended to heaven. He was actually picked up by a space vehicle. The book, written by Chan Thomas, describes Jesus as a scholar who trained in India. Boy phones 911 to order a McDonald's. A 5-year-old boy in Wyoming, Michigan, rang Wyoming, Michigan. There is a town called Wyoming, Michigan.
You guys are getting like 2 or 3 news items in one here, so you're welcome.
Rang 911 called to order a McDonald's. When the emergency services answered, Isaiah Hall asked, "Can you bring me McDonald's?" When police arrived to check on the boy's well-being, he said, "My grandma's going to be so mad. Can you please go away?" Man cut his finger off after electoral gaffe. An Indian man cut off his own finger after accidentally voting for the wrong party in the election. Pawan Kumar wanted to vote for Bahujan Samaj Party, but accidentally pressed the button for the ruling Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party. I chopped my finger for the mistake, said the harsh self-critic.
There we go. See, look at all that. I didn't look closely enough to realize that this is 3 news items. But really, the point of it is that Jesus. The real question is was Jesus getting picked up and brought home?
I don't know. What the fuck is the week?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
Well, I mean, like, as we will find out in the next, as will be sort of elaborated a little bit upon, or at least give you some insight and perspective on the matter, it's hard to find fun news these days. It really is.
I suppose.
I mean, Well, I mean, one of the standard sites for the midweek odd news I find, it's gotten to a point where it's literally nothing about except like lottery winners and goofy animal stories.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, is nothing else funny happening in the world, or are we just all too goddamn depressed and negative to observe it?
Well, there's always like Florida Man, you know? Like Florida Man is kind of a constant.
That is true.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
But I've kind of noticed that though, because I would get a lot of these from r/news of the stupid, and a ton of them these days have been really fucking depressing. Like one of them, the vampire facial at New Mexico spa tied to 2 HIV cases. That's not funny.
No.
They went to get a blood facial, and now they have HIV. That's not funny.
Hold on, I've got someone at my door.
You go what?
I got somebody at my door. Hold on.
Oh God.
It's all metal. It'll be fine.
Oh no. I think I might have found something really fucked up.
Did you?
Oh, I think I might have. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find an actual video of it necessarily. Apparently they filmed it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it on YouTube. If somebody else finds the actual YouTube video of it, you should send it to me. Students in blackface film themselves harassing McDonald's workers.
Oh, yeah, I did see something about this. Good job, boys. Good job.
Yeah.
And we begin.
Well, where
Good
is
old
it?
New York Post.
Oh man, that's good blackface. That's a joke.
It was technically, yes, it's true.
But yeah, I don't think they have the actual video of the kids in blackface.
Well, if it's the one I think of, if it's the one I'm thinking of, like you could probably find. I've seen an image of it. If it was, unless there are just like a new slew of blackface issues going on.
Maybe.
Which I mean, I wouldn't be fucking surprised by.
No, me neither. Like, and that's the thing that's always so bizarre to me too. Is like, I really personally, I think we as a people can get a thicker skin so that it really isn't that big of a deal. But it's less that, and it's more like, you already know it's a bad idea. Like, you know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Yet still, people will do it, and then they act surprised when people get mad. They're like, well, I didn't think anybody would get mad. Of course they're going to get mad.
Well, this is the thing, Jeff. I mean, comedy is, then it's not even a joke or a line. Comedy is difficult. And a lot of times the kind of thing, especially high school kids, when they sit around and they think something will be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious in their little heads, sure. And then when they go out and do it, it's like, oh, that's not really funny. And then they grow up to be YouTubers.
Classical liberals. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Let's be honest. I mean, like, it is true. Like, you know, being genuinely funny is not easy. You can tell by my desperate attempts each week, but it's you know, a lot of people do think that there's just this cheap route of, like, you know, especially if you see like, to bring them up again, you see comedic comics like Anthony Jeselnik, right? And you watch his bits and you think what makes it funny is how shocking and edgy it is. It's like, no, it's not. That's just something that amplifies it. It's actually clever. It's wordplay. It's punchlines. It's joke structure. And yet, you know, when these shocking comedians, these edgy, really pushing the boundaries type of comedians, when that, you know, gets popular, people think, oh, all I need to do is be edgy and shit. And presto, you get really, really, really bad knockoffs.
Yeah. I can see that. All right. Anyway, moving on. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So this next one. Yeah. Well, this next news item comes to us from Fox News. So we know it's going to be good. Americans among the most negative people on Earth, survey says.
Okay.
Not surprised. A new survey has found that Americans are among the most negative people on the planet. NFL player infuriates Marvel fans after tweeting Avengers Endgame spoilers. You see, I know that this is just a headline they throw in there to get you to click on it.
But that's perfect.
But it works with the fucking article brilliantly, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, Gallup's latest update on the world's emotional state reported that 55% of Americans said they experienced a lot of stress in 2018. High. One of the highest rates out of 143 countries polled and well above the global average of 35%. That's kind of nice to know the global average for negative Nancy's is only 35%. They trailed only Greece at 59%, the Philippines 58%, and Tanzania. What the fuck is going on in Tanzania?
I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, on the stress table is tied with Iran, Albania, and Sri Lanka. We're as miserable as people in Iran, Albania, and Sri Lanka. The poll also reported 45% of Americans said they felt worried a lot. High. And more than 1 in 5, 22% of Americans said they felt angry a lot. I'm just in every conceivable minority. According to Gallup, the economy is not the problem. The survey found the levels of negative emotions are even higher than during the Great Recession. Click here to get the Fox News app if you want to help continue that trend. The answer, this is a quote from John Clifton, Gallup's global managing partner. The answer to whether money truly buys happiness is still far from being understood, but the report gives global thinkers an idea of who is living the best and worst lives in the world.
What the fuck is a global thinker?
It's somebody with really good social media metrics. I don't fucking know.
What the fuck is a global thinker? Like, can I take a class, like an online class, and then put that on my fucking resume?
I got a bachelor's in global thinking from University of Phoenix Online.
That's right. This episode of the MidWeek Saints brought to you by
University of Phoenix Online.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You too can go into debt and perhaps get promoted to assistant manager at the supermarket. It's like, are you sick of wrangling carts? Would you like to be the guy telling the cart wranglers where the carts are? Enroll in our new business management class. That's Saints University.
Oh my God.
The report also found 64% of Americans between 15 and 29 said they were stressed a lot, and exactly 50% of Americans in that age group said they were worried a lot. The numbers were slightly higher among those aged between 30 and 49, with 65% in that cohort. You just wouldn't. This guy, whoever wrote this, was just looking for like weeks for a chance to use the word cohort.
Yeah.
Saying that they were stressed a lot, and 52% said they were worried a lot. 32% of Americans, 15 to 29, said they were angry a lot in 2018, while 25%, aged 30 to 49, said they were angry a lot last year, which is the same sentence. Different percentages, but it's like they were angry a lot in 2018.
A different age group too, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, they said they got angry a lot last year. It's like, oh, so at least they weren't counted in the 2018 group. Wait.
Addie says she's a negative American. I think that's an ethnicity now.
I just, right now I'm just hearing that Trent Reznor, David Bowie song, I'm Afraid of Americans, playing, and it's not even about us being violent. It's just about us bringing your house party down really quick. It's like, yeah, well, you guys ever do you know anything about the Flint water crisis? Like, this is a graduation party.
You.
Now it's funny though, because I mean this does, on a semi-serious intellectual note. You could almost say it's sociological, but and it actually is sociological. It's funny because, like, I remember, and you probably remember these too, like there were studies coming out that found people who were living on the brink in like the developing world.
Sure. Where
they had to like carry their drinking water 2 miles and shit in pots.
Okay.
That those people on average, when studied and such, actually were found to be generally overall more satisfied and happier with life. Because, like, for one thing, like, they didn't really have a rat race like everybody else does. There were no Joneses to keep up with. And it's, and when your entire life is surviving is victory, right? And if your family survives, that's even better. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
But then you go places where survival is ostensibly guaranteed, and it's like, oh, fuck, I didn't get the promotion, my life is ruined. Or this TV is only 48 inches, and my cousin's got a 60-inch, and I just need to keep up. And it's a weird thing too, because there's also sociological studies which connected to the notion of what we might call like freedom, right? You know, the individualists out there, the hardcore ones who think that life is all about, you know, just making up your own mind about everything, which is a good thing most of the time. Well, they found that in Old England, when they studied Catholic and Protestant communities, the Catholic communities were far more regimented. There was a lot more control and order and expectation. And they were generally, quote unquote, less happy, right? But they had substantially lower suicide rates than the Protestant communities, where they lived a more sort of liberated lifestyle.
Okay.
Well, it's just an interesting thing because it's, I mean, like, I've been reading a lot about absurdism, which says like there's an ontological like difference, you know, a disconnect between human desire and the reality of happiness, because we desire all this shit, and then the failure to attain those desires leads us to misery. Whereas in the natural world, without this sentient intellect or soul thing that we like to think makes us different than our primate ancestors, again, simply surviving or finding a sudden cache of fucking beetles you can eat is fucking wonderful. Oh my God, my day's made. I found a bunch of dirty ass bugs I get to eat and they're rooting around in my shit because it's still warm. Ooh, good.
Speaking of bugs and shit.
Please welcome Disturbed.
I don't know if this one is any good. It's not as good. It's not as good.
No, I mean, if you look up Slipknot shreds.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That was that. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, the joke runs a little long, but it's still pretty good.
Slipknot.
Yeah. I mean, all shreds are good.
Shreds.
You're right, Canuck. All shreds are good. Some shreds are shreddier than others.
Duality, but it's a complete shit show.
They did a few of them, I guess, huh?
Disturbed shreds. This Disturbed shreds actually has a way more views. So maybe this one's actually better. Let's try this one. I hate Creed and I hate Disturbed. Also, hey, pinkies up. Zordon603 gifted a sub to Skull Maggot. Pinkies up, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
You guys are my friends, right?
Shit.
Yeah.
What's your plan to me?
With the sickness.
Get down with the sickness. Get down with the sickness.
All right. Anyway, that's enough.
Well, for the last news item, I think it's going to be safe to say that should what is being reported by the fucking Chinese, this is some kind of plot, commie stuff. But I think Mexico might actually, very soon, if this goes through, rank even higher than America in terms of negativities. Oh, but then Larry shows up with a.
Let's do this after the article.
Yeah.
Mexican lawmaker proposes warm beer to cool desire for a drink. This is the best headline I've ever read in my life. Okay. Time to crack open a cold one? Not so fast. A local Mexican lawmaker proposes a measure on Thursday, limiting the sale of cold beer to curb alcohol consumption, unbottling a wave of mainly mocking reactions online. If the beer isn't refrigerated, you will be forced to bring it home, put it in the fridge, and drink it at home, explained Maria de Lourdes Paz.
You sounded more Romanian than Mexican.
Listen,
point that out.
That is not the point, okay?
No, you gotta do it with the Cholo voice,
No, that's racist. A member of Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador's left-leaning Morena party. The bill cited a study on addiction in Mexico that showed Mexico City, where Paz is a member of the local Congress, has the highest rate of youth alcohol consumption. Most youth drinkers buy alcohol while out with friends, going to one of the many small shops in the megacity that sell refrigerated drinks. The bill proposes requiring such businesses to keep beverages with alcohol content higher than 7% at room temperature. Listen! Here's the truth, is that if you force a man to have to drink his beer warm, he'll just learn to like it.
True. And this is a theoretical thing. It might actually inspire them to just start making better beer. Because real beer is supposed to be served just slightly under room temperature. The reason we drink our beer icy cold is because most of the beer we make tastes like shit. So you serve it ice cold, you don't taste what tastes like old banana peels in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that diacetyl. I mean, it's a funny thing. Like if you go to traditional English or European pubs, they don't typically, they never used to keep their kegs or casks in a freezer. They'd keep it in a cellar. So it's a little colder. Yeah. And it's also like when you get a Guinness served, here's the thing too. If you go out to the bar and you're the kind of person who likes to get yourself a Guinness, when you hear people saying, "Oh, it tastes like shit," it's like, well, if you drink it cold, yes, it does.
Yeah,
that's why you're supposed to sit and wait 8 minutes or so for it to warm up and to mix.
Mm-hmm.
But what do I know about beer?
Nitro is pretty good too. I like Nitro. Nitro Guinness is really good.
Nitro has to be served cold though.
I mean, it has to be served cold. We don't have to drink it cold. You can let it warm up.
No, I mean, it has. No, yeah, you can let it warm up, but I mean, and actually, when you let it warm up, it does mix and get creamier. But it needs to be kept cold because nitros can explode. Well, have you ever heard of a bottle bomb?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like the more gases you have in your sealed container, if when they get warm, when you make a liquid or a gas warm, it gets chemically and physically excited.
Yeah.
And if you got too much of a gas buildup and it's warm, boom, it blows up. And I make someone else clean it up.
There you go. Okay, so Larry Kubiak says, this is the Elvis one I remembered, but my favorite is probably the German one. Pick either one or both or none. How about both?
Why not both?
Oh my god. It's the shoes. The shoes are amazing.
Yeah, the basketball squeaks.
Ohne Witz, viel zu selten. Da darf ich Mietwohnungen ankündigen mit wunderbarem Wohnzimmer.
Oh, sweet, sweet Casio. I think we just found our new theme song.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
This is good lip reading. What the fuck? You know what this feels like? It feels like we're watching like a German language music version of Look Around You.
Yeah.
Now welcoming to the show with very warm feelings. We have Klaus and his Casio keyboard. All I'm hearing is German, I'm afraid.
This feels like an Adult Swim late night sketch.
It does.
That final zoom in on the fucking doll. Oh, fuck me. Oh, my God. I have had trips like that. Yeah.
Wait, you've taken acid and that's all you've seen?
No, not like visually, but like that feeling, that really bizarre feeling. Like, you know, certain sounds you single out and they don't make any sense, but for some reason you can't stop hearing it, and people acting very strange and suspicious. And all of a sudden everything is really quiet. And you find yourself staring at like a stuffed animal or something, and you're like, what are you trying to tell me right now? It's very strange.
You know, that was strangely like the last time I did acid, I decided it would be a good idea to put Deadpool 2 on.
Oh, sure.
That was mostly a mistake, and it was strange though, because I'd never anticipate that while I'm peaking on acid, I would desperately want like the ultra violence to be on the TV rather than the forced drama, because it felt just like that watching it. I'm like,
I could see that. By the way, guys, hop into the waiting room if you want to hang out. We're gonna pull some people in here in just a minute.
No.
Yeah. No, I can't remember. Well, to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time I successfully actually took acid. So, I mean, like...
How did you fail? Was it like one of these, like... Huh?
Well, no. Well, okay.
Ah, fuck!
The last time I attempted to take acid was not New Year's Eve, this last one, but a year before that. And my buddy gave me a Sour Patch Kid that had acid on it. And he was like, these should be pretty decent. They shouldn't be too strong. You should be okay. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. It's been a while, but I'll try it. I ate it. Usually it takes you like 35 to 45 minutes to really feel it kicking in. In 10 minutes, I was like, I am about to have a very unpleasant experience. Oh, wow. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So I informed him that I was going to his house because we were at a party and I had a key to his house. And I went in there and I just laid down on the couch, frying my fucking nuts off watching Star Trek The Next Generation being really uncomfortable because it was too much. I was too high.
I need to offer a correction though. It wasn't actually acid that time with Deadpool 2. That was mushrooms. And just because he's a small man and you can pick him up easily, and throwing him under any form of vehicle, including a bus, is just that much easier. It was with Vernaculus, which was funny. Watching Vernaculus trip out is fun. It's funnier than tripping out yourself.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you've met him. I know you've met him at least once out at VidCon there, and
he's a great.
And
dude.
he's a great dude. It's just funny, like, you know, if you throw him into a situation he wasn't expecting to be thrown into, he gets understandably awkward, right? Like, confused. And it's like, you know, it's like anything else when you experience something on mushrooms, it's 10 times as funny to me. So
yeah, that's pretty.
And
good.
You say poor Vern. By the way, let's actually give him a congratulations on finishing his second book now.
Really? Wow.
His book, Confessions of a Jilted Journalist, or The Misadventures of a Jilted Journalist, that's been out for a while, but he's been working on a novel, a work of fiction, which I've read enough excerpts to say it's good. He's submitted his manuscript to my publisher, which means he's now he's submitted 2 manuscripts before I got my first one done. Well done, Vernaculus. I hate you so much.
Well done, Vernie.
Yeah, I'll get you for this. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, man. No, I don't think it was like weird research chemicals that I got that night. I think it was acid. But like the thing is, you never really know how much is on, you know. But when it's not like this is regulated. It's not like, you know, this is made in a factory, you know.
Oh Christ.
And people who are like, I am dropping it on each one. It does happen where they're like, oh shit. Oh well, somebody's gonna have a good night.
Oh yeah, I had a bunch of those tabs. That's the night. In fact, I ate 3 of them once, not knowing how strong they were, and I turned into the devil.
Oh wow,
that was fun. I think I've told that story. But here's a funny thing too, because I was hoping, like a while back, like a year ago or so, I was like kind of dreaming of like I could probably make a European trip work on a budget if I could figure it out. And a Russian friend of mine, a very attractive former model who now lives in Poland. She's like, oh, yes, well, if you make it here, we can hang out. I can show you some of what I work on. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? Well, because, you know, in Russia, pharmacology is more of a hobby than a profession for most. Yeah, apparently, like, you can just buy the base chemical ingredients for any number of pharmaceutical drugs, just willy-nilly. And apparently it's a thing with Russians that they like not just crocodile, but they like finding out what's in given prescription medications and then making their own versions of them.
So, Hannah, what was your last acid trip like?
I've never tried any drugs. I'm only actually tried 2, like weed and 2 CB.
Wait, you done?
That's all I've ever tried.
Wait, okay. 2CB is a pretty strong fucking drug, though.
Yeah, I was with my girlfriend and her other partner, and it's like, do you want to try something? Like, you don't have to if you don't want to. So I was like, fuck, I'll try it. I was really fucking nervous about it because first thing I've ever tried.
And how?
20 minutes.
Go ahead,
yeah, 20 minutes later, it's like, this isn't working. I'm going to go to bed.
Oh no, it didn't work.
Wait for it. So I'm rolling in this bed for fucking hours upon hours, and I feel like I'm in a cube. And every time I turn over, it's like a dice rolling onto the different side of the cube. And I don't realize I'm tripping.
All right.
I don't realize I'm tripping, and it's like, fuck, I can't get to sleep. So I stumble into the living room expecting these cunts to be asleep. No, they're sitting in the same place. It's been 5 minutes. No. Yeah, it's been 5 minutes. And it's like I'm sitting explaining to them, and they can't stop laughing, and I don't understand why they're laughing at me. So it's like, then we start drinking, and it only gets worse from there.
Oh man,
And
you fell into the time cube. That's great.
yeah, yeah. I tried meditating that night. Holy shit, best experience ever.
Oh
like,
my god.
Yeah, I just shut down. Like I was like a computer shutting off.
How did you guys take 2CB, by the way? I'm just curious.
Tablet.
Oh, tablet.
Well,
Okay. So
I've never even heard of this.
2CB.
Stuff.
Oh my god. Okay. Hang on. So 2CB is a research chemical. It's based on the work of somebody out there will tell me who it is, but it's this very famous chemist who made fuck tons of these.
I like how research chemical is like the new term for like, I got invented a new drug.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Well, this dude invented like thousands of them and cataloged how he made all of them and just released it. Because he basically had carte blanche through the government to discover new drugs. And so he did, because he was brilliant. Shulgin, that's right, Alexander Shulgin. And the dude invented so many bizarre, crazy chemicals. And I think he took all of them.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah. And some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Like, for instance, I don't think anyone should ever take 2CE. That is an awful drug. It is basically synthetic mescaline, and it fucks your world up. But 2CB is an extremely potent euphoric, hallucinogen, and stimulant. And what's really fascinating is before it got illegalized, a shit ton of this stuff, and I mean a shit ton, started making its way from San Francisco across the country. And there were suitcases. I know because I saw one of the suitcases where there were bricks of this shit. Where they would go into a town and they're like, this is about to be illegal. Here you go. And then drive to the next town.
Johnny Appleseeding their way across the country.
Yes, because it was legal at the time, and they're just like going to the most well-known trippers in these cities and handing them a kilo of this shit, and they're like, have fun before it's illegal, bye-bye, and fucking taking off. I got to try it, and holy fucking dick, dude. That shit is wacky. Wonderful wacky.
Well, see, well, you know, I find one of the greatest tragedies to the like the '60s flower children and the Timothy Leary generation dying off is that, like, so here in New England, pretty much all of Vermont, Western Massachusetts, and pockets of New Hampshire were actually populated by these old hippies, who, you know, thought they just established their weird little hippie colonies.
Sure.
So we've got a lot of Timothy Leary disciples who like moved and retired here.
Yeah.
Now, this was 2001, and my local friend who, you know, he's the one everyone knew to buy their weed from. He'd been selling weed since he was 14, professionally too. And when I say professionally, I mean like when he gets robbed at gunpoint, he does a cost-benefit analysis as to whether or not it's worth going after the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and he knew through his uncle or his mom or someone like that, this chemist who lived up in the North Country, and he was just, ever since the end of the free love drug movement, he just continued cranking out pharmaceutical grade LSD.
Oh yeah.
And he'd make his own head batches, and then he'd make his distribution batches. And he made this one head batch for himself, which, according to him, after doing it his entire life, was just too intense, too strong.
Ooh.
So he offloads it to my friend with the warning saying, do not sell more than 3 hits to anyone. Do not let them take more than 2 if you can. He didn't listen. I got 5 hits. I took them all at once. Sitting, and this is the last time I actually had long hair. So I'm sitting there dressed in my like post-Columbine ex-high school goth gear, which was just long black trench coat and all that.
Yep.
I'm living in this room. I'm sleeping on a wraparound couch because I never bothered really moving in. I'm watching my VHS tapes on this massive console TV, and for some reason, I was just constantly eating acid, and I decided, hey, I'm just going to take 5 hits of this because that last shit I got was bunk. Take that, and I pop in the 9th gate. Oh, that
Oh
was.
no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
So,
no.
well, it gets worse because this is one of those like this place was built in this rebuilt in the fucking 70s, I want to say. So the walls are all wood paneling, and I've got one of those cheap overhead lamp like lights built in, and I didn't like the glaring light when I moved in, so I hung a red T-shirt over it and rolled it up so it looked like an upside down volcano. And I had candles going all over for ambient lighting. And I take this acid by myself, mind you. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the movie and I'm kind of bored with the movie. And then I notice the walls are breathing, which, they do. And then the walls breathe in the fire from the candles. And then all of a sudden my room's on fire in my world. And I'm like, this isn't good. But then the walls all melted away. And behind it was a hellscape which looked like a better rendered version of hell from the Spawn movie.
Oh, sure.
That kind of fucked me up a bit, and I started freaking out, like, oh my god, I'm in hell, completely forgetting I was tripping on acid, mind you. And I'm like, I'm actually in hell. But then I realized I was still on my couch, and that everything around me belonged to me. The natural logical progression being that I owned hell, which made me the devil. Just as I'm coming to grips with this new reality of mine, my friend from upstairs, Tim, and this is like, if you do a lot of acid, you always know it's good to have like an anchor, I call it. It's like a Sherpa, somebody who's done way more than you have.
Sure.
Yeah, and so I knew Tim, like he'd taken the apartment with a couple friends upstairs. His room was directly upstairs from mine, and I knew in my head that Tim, he called himself a Rastafarian Christian, which meant he loved Jesus and weed and acid. Yeah, it was the late 90s. But he comes down. I happen to know in my head while I'm experiencing this that upstairs, Tim's room is painted blue with fluffy white clouds that he painted on there when he was tripping balls on the same stuff, except he only took 2 hits. He's like, hey, come upstairs. We're mixing records. I'm like, I can't, man. He's like, why not? I'm like, the kitchen light, it's on. It's pure white light. It'll burn. Like, no, it won't. Come on. Convinces me to get up. I get to the doorway. It burns for about a split second, and then I come back to reality. I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. I'm tripping my balls off. Let's go. What are they spinning upstairs? Let's go. I love movies.
And I bet you had a great trip after that.
Actually, it only got weirder after that because I ended up sitting in his living room, and this was one of those weird not cracked den, but you might call it that.
Yeah.
Ceiling fan with the pronged lights, and each one had a different colored bulb in them, which was fun. But while I'm sitting there, everything turns into this 2-dimensional set piece, and it looks kind of like we see in like visual novels now.
Okay.
So I'm convinced I'm just watching some really strange play. And now Tim starts peeking, and Tim brings a pair of pants and one of those slap-back chairs into the living room, and he starts methodically disassembling the both of them. First the chair, he pulls the top off, and then starts pulling the slats off and setting them aside like he's going to do something with them. Hangs one of his socks on the ceiling fan, and then begins methodically tearing each pocket off the pants before putting one of the back pockets on as a hat, considering it and saying, this is good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so Hannah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm really fucking enjoying these stories.
No, I know. Me too. So, what is the weirdest story, even if it's not necessarily drug related, that you can share with us?
My pal stole an ice cream van this one time.
It
wasn't an ice cream van. It was an old ice cream van that never had anything in it.
Okay, so what happened with this ice cream van that never was an ice cream van? What happened with it?
No, it was, but it was just really fucking old and it was out of use.
Oh, okay.
What's it for some reason? I hang around a lot of people who did drugs but never fucking tried it.
Okay.
They got it in their head, it's like, well, we're going to go steal an ice cream van and we're going to get hundreds of candy. And it's like, I don't think it didn't make sense because it's been sitting there for years. Because it's never the time they've been there, it's never had candy in it at all. And it's like, I think you would have to be fucking high to understand it, but it's like,
So a weird friend of yours lived in an ice cream van that wasn't a van, and when you finally explored it, there you were disappointed that the puppies and candy you were promised weren't there? I swear to Christ, Jeff, we got to get some Scottish to English subtitles going on here, because only God has that.
Yeah, no, but I'm going to Isle's wedding, and I want to try everything I can there.
Oh dear. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. I want to try mushrooms and weeds, because I know weed's legal there.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, weed's legal? Really?
Washington. I'm pretty sure it's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you're coming to Washington. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. No, yeah, it's Washington. There's going to be lots of drugs. Holy shit. You kidding me? What the fuck?
Yeah, if you go and smoke any weed while you're in Washington, seek out Repsion, because he's really, really upset that as a union tradesman, he's allowed to drink himself to death but not smoke weed.
Yeah. All I know is
I'll make fun of him.
All I know is that between the only state that has more drugs in it than Washington is my state.
Piss off.
Oh yeah. No. See, having a bunch of meth and a bunch of heroin doesn't count.
Depends on how much.
No, doesn't count. Because that's everywhere. That's a boring ass drug. That's just for junkies. I mean, like, weird ass shit. Do roving bands of ninja dressed hippies roam around in the middle of the night at a certain point in the year to go and rip up all of the poppies out of the rich people's yards so that they can take it home and cook cook raw opium in their casserole dishes?
Does that work?
Yes, it does.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm a big fan of opium.
Guess how I know?
Strangest thing, I did heroin once when I was young and really stupid, and it was like when it was just like a little bump of it because my Russian friend said, it's fucking great. And the New Hampshire line at the time was, well, if you snort it, you can't get addicted.
Mm-hmm.
And 15-year-old me was like, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah.
And then it turned into that scene from Trainspotting when he leans back on the carpet and sinks into his own grave. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that movie is probably the closest representation to actually doing heroin like in the world. It's very accurate. So there's this thing in Eugene where if you go to a St. Vincent de Paul and you buy a casserole dish at this specific point in the year and you don't look like a homemaker, the people who are selling it will look at you and they'll know exactly what you're doing. Like, they know what you're doing. They know exactly what you're doing because you're not going to reuse the same casserole dish. It gets ruined every time you do it. But no, you dress like a fucking ninja. You and your buddies go out at like 3 a.m. and you drive slowly through town until you see somebody who has poppies growing in their yard. You don't have time to, like, very carefully bleed them. No. You'll get caught. You jump out, you fucking pull that right out of their goddamn lawn and throw it in a bag and jump back into the fucking van and keep going. Until finally you get back to the place, you got yourself, like, 7 garbage bags full of fucking poppies that you pulled out of people's gardens, and then you sit there and you slowly harvest it, and over the course of the next week, you take turns holding a heat gun. Next thing you know, you've got enough raw heroin that if you get caught, you're probably going to prison for like 40 fucking years, and then you just give it away. And there's a whole culture around that in this town.
I would love to see the person who tries it the first time and they get that weird look as they're buying a stack of casserole dishes. No, like, it's a party. I'm sure it is. No, I mean, like, tuna casserole, chicken casserole. You don't care, do you?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'll make.
Hey, Hannah.
I just love with that story, though, the fact that, like, since it's a tradition and these rich fuckers still grow the opium, it's almost like you guys have established a whole new version of the sharing economy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, these are the cheapest landscapers I've ever met.
So, Hannah, is there anything you want to share with us? Shill, promote, put out there?
I use GoFundMe for the wedding to get Mouse and Nick over.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You guys have the. I hope you guys have the link for me. So by all
Yeah,
means, if somebody can send it to me.
I'll send it to you once I find in Crossnote or something.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Awesome.
And for the record, see you, Hannah. Good talking to you again. Just for the record, too, to respond to the chat. Yeah, to the respond to the chat. No, I didn't get addicted, so it was kind of true. But the truth is that, so there was that role of euphoria that, like, you know, all of the junkie, you know, writers and filmmakers talk about. It was very brief though, because then I smoked a cigarette and I vomited 11 times, and then I was sweating like a hog, and then I laid down and felt like I was gonna die, and I was dying right up until the nicotine fit hit again, and then I smoked another cigarette, and I'm pretty sure I lost about 30% of my body weight through vomit.
Nice.
After that, no interest in doing heroin again, but opium, I could smoke that shit all day, and the weirdest thing is I could burn through a whole bag of opium, right? And then when it's gone, I'm fine.
Wouldn't care. Yeah, it really doesn't. It doesn't hit you the same way, you know. Like it's. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, well, you hear about like the opium addicts of old and shit, and it's like it's got to be more like alcohol in the sense like you become a true addict to it when you just constantly do it.
Well, yeah, you can't. For one, it's a constant sort of thing, and also the refining process for old school opium is a lot more involved than hippie opium. Hippie opium is very, very raw and very not potent at all.
So it's like the swag weed version of opium.
It's just that it's not refined. It's not concentrated. You know, it's just like a raw ass plant. You know.
Well, I mean,
it'd be like the home remedy of, like, you know, having a little bit of opium to try and deal with like a toothache or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's about on par with it's on par like that.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I mean, as a sign of the times, I was riding from taking care of my dad with my mother the other day, and she's like, you know, I'm so sick of it being so difficult to find swag weed. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Tiny woman.
I've heard this before from other people. They're like, we can't handle that good weed.
Yeah.
Why can't we get some fucking swag?
You know, she's like, she's a fucking, like, she's a 4 foot, like 10, 80-pound little old lady who used to party hard, but now she just, you know, lives her life. And she's like, yeah, like, you gave me a nug like a couple weeks ago, and it took me about 2 weeks to get through it, and every time I just felt like I was about to just have a panic attack and die. I'm like, yeah, it's good shit, right?
Oh God. All right. Yeah. No. This is a great fucking GoFundMe. Awesome. All right. That's good. So one Canuck was like, who gives away drugs though? There's no market for selling crappy hippie opium. You just give it away.
You make it from stealing plants out of people's lawns.
Yeah, and also, like, do you need to send some casserole dishes? I when I was fucking around with that shit was like 16 years ago. So no. But what was interesting though was because I've never really been able to successfully smoke weed. Because it always fucks with me. I always get like a weird allergic reaction to THC. I wanted to be part of all my friends who love to sit around and smoke weed. So I would sit down. And I'd have dried lavender, and then I'd put fucking an opium ball on top of it, because you need something to burn. And the opium doesn't burn as well as like weed.
No, it's like smoking weed. It's like smoking pipe resin.
Yeah, and burning lavender is actually an expectorant, so it keeps you from coughing. And so I'd just sit down and I'd just happily be smoking a bowl of fucking opium. And friends of mine would be like, "You have to put that away. You have to stop smoking that." I'm like, why? I'm fine. They're like, no, we're getting way too high off that. I'm like, I feel great. And they're like, no, dude, we can't.
Oh, makes me miss the days of doing drugs.
Yeah,
these days
I don't do drugs anymore either.
Well, it's like, you know, I love periodically, like once or twice a year, right? I like to make it almost like a holiday, like a special occasion. Like I want to get, you know, I like to get some either acid or mushrooms, hole up in my apartment, dose, and then like I remember like there was this time back when Deli Meats there was still living with me here, and I got gifted this bag of shrooms, and I was like, I don't plan on doing this none. She'd never done it before. I'm sitting at my desk and we're just like watching shit, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'll just like microdose and make this a little weird, and I eat a stem.
Oh sure.
I eat another one, and then I'm like, here, and I just grab a handful of caps. I'm like, eat these.
Yeah.
Just eat them.
Well, we've hung out in real life 3 times now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we ever do drugs together? I can't remember.
No, just drank.
No? Fuck, man. All right. Next time we're
Yeah, I mean,
hanging
the
out.
only, like I said, the only drugs I did last VidCon, for instance, was snorting coke off the key of an MS-13 member's car key.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that shit.
Oh, and I was like, my face went numb right away. He's like, oh yeah, man, I ain't even stepped on these yet. I'm like, no shit. He's like, and then he says, yeah, well, then he's like, yeah, that's that good Mexican mafia shit, and he's got 13 tattooed on his throat. I'm just high as balls, and I'm like, you guys are a lot nicer than you seem in the media.
So so Zordon won the role, but he left. Damn. Oh, there he is. Okay. Zordon won the role, and right as I was pulling him in, I look over, and in the chat he's like, I have a mushroom story for you. Like, really? Okay. Hello? Hello?
He's tripping so hard he thinks he's sitting at the table with us.
Zordon, you must assemble the Power Rangers. Oh no. Oh,
G-Money. I don't do drugs. I have an ethnogenic religious cultural experience which exempts it from all drugs.
Hello, Zordon.
There it is.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing.
You were doing good. Not today.
Not today, son.
I need to make that fucking that edit, like the what do we say to the god of death? Not today. The lady.
Oh, my response would be, where
The
the
building
fuck
is
you been?
on fire. Wait, sorry. Go ahead, Zordon. Oh my god! He just fell out again.
What do we say to the god of death? Hey, buddy.
How you
Where you
doing,
going?
No, you know what I should do? I know what I'm going to do for an edit. What do we say to the god of death? Stay back! Stay back! We will defend ourselves! We will defend... Get away from my buddy!
I wholeheartedly approve. Fuck yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, that's it right there.
Fuck.
By the way, when you were going over that story the other day, that weird Dr. Nick guy, I'm genuinely disappointed there was no, hey, everybody.
I know. Everybody was mad about that. There's a bunch of people who were pissed that I didn't do it.
I was fucking... You gotta give the audience what they want, Jeff. Show business.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Zordon's not showing back up. We'll roll again, and then we'll try and get Zordon after this next person. It is the moon. Oh wait, we got the moon and the Zordon. Oh fuck.
If it isn't, Mr. With a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg.
Well, okay. Well, no, they both left. All right.
Yeah, my Simpsons reference ran them off. Thank you, Addy. Addy's just trying to run everybody off. Like, I know if I put something in all caps, Nick will be forced to say it like Ron Burgundy.
Double kill. Well, I'm just going to assume that I'm gonna assume the
Don't like us.
the mods can figure this out, and
yeah, I'm just gonna assume they don't like us. They're like, Nick won't shut the fuck up, so there's no chance of me telling my mushroom story. Ooh.
Oh shit! There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Really good audio too.
Nick, are you familiar with Keene, New Hampshire?
I lived there for 2 years. Yeah.
Oh no shit! That's where I'm at.
Oh well. All right. So next time you're on Main Street, when you gotta turn me down. There we go. Yeah, next time you're on Main Street, when you see Timoleons, look to the 3rd floor of that building. That was my apartment. The fuck? There's no one here now. I'm like... Wow. I never thought I'd hate the sound of my own voice.
You love the sound of your own voice.
Normally... when it's echoing back like I'm shouting into the Grand Canyon. It sounds so great. But yeah, no, I used to actually. The funny thing with Keene was that like I lived right above Timoleons, so every day when they had the 420 protests on Central Square, I could just look out my window and smell the clouds of weed smoke and be like, I should go down to Central Square.
Absolutely.
So what has you in Keene? Are you going to school there?
I did, and then I.
Now you work for PC Connection. You do, don't you?
Hi.
There's only like 4 employers in Keene, so.
But my mushroom story was that I bought an 1/8 of mushrooms, decided that on Pumpkin Fest in Keene, which is like a big.
Well, it doesn't happen anymore.
And he's gone again.
I can get it. So for those not familiar, though, Pumpkin Fest in Keene at one time was the largest collection of jack-o'-lanterns in the world every Halloween, and then they actually had to cancel it and move it because Connecticut college kids decided a riot for no reason would be a great thing to do. Oh, look, this stream is now the property of Disney.
Pretty much.
This is. Why is Zordon? I really want to hear your Keene mushroom story because.
Me too.
Well, I mean, the thing is too is like Keene is part of the Western Tier. When I was saying that the Western Tier of New Hampshire was populated by hippies, it's really weird. There are 3 towns between Keene, Vermont, and New Hampshire. There's Keene, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts. There's Keene, New Hampshire. There's Brattleboro, Vermont, and then there's Northampton, Mass. And they're all within about like a 2-hour triangle of each other, more or less. And when you get into these towns, they are the exact same town with different layouts. It's fucking strange. The same independent record store, the same organic ice cream shop, the same thrift shop. And it turns out that the entire area was just basically colonized by old hippies, which is why the liberal arts programs out in Keene are so strong and why it's impossible to get GMO food.
GMOs are so good. All right, so what we're gonna do, I don't know why Zordon's using the app, but it's still booting him. I'm not really sure what that is. We'll try again after Enemy Moon. We'll get Enemy Moon in.
Yeah.
Monsieur Moon, hello, and welcome to the Quebec Space.
Quebec Space.
Quebec à quoi?
I'm meeting the stream.
You meeting the stream?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, So what's up?
Not much. I mean, I have at least 3 action figures from Deadpool 2 currently inserted inside of my body. Those who can guess which 3 will win a prize.
Namely the action figures. Uncleaned.
Yes. It's like we're fucking psychic, dude.
But yeah. One thing I do want to mention is, Nick, that acid story you told sounds like the last time my wife had Zoloft.
Oh dear.
I've dated a girl in Zoloft, and I mean, the worst thing that ever happened to her is she'd forget to take it, and then she'd just be a bitch.
Oh, see, there's like many medications. There's some people who just can't have Zoloft because it does the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do.
Right.
That's my wife with most antidepressants.
I wouldn't say the opposite effect of Zoloft is you trip balls, unless you're just saying like she took Zoloft and actually turned into the devil. She's standing right behind you, isn't she?
Actually, she's across her.
But
and she just said, "Leave
okay,
me
so
out."
what happened in this? What happened in this this Zoloft trip?
The walls came to life.
Ooh, okay. Have you
So-
have you ever intentionally partaken in recreational hallucinogens yourself?
No, I have not. But with how my mind is sober, would you really want me?
Yes, absolutely. Crazy people are the best people to trip with.
Because they get seen.
So you want me to turn into Kefka Palazzo for real?
Why not?
Kafka?
Kefka.
Yeah.
From Final Fantasy.
Oh, I thought he meant like real, like normal Kafka.
No. Kefka. Kefka with an E. Kefka.
Yeah, I tend to turn into Kafka in a K-hole, so.
I can't stop playing with this thing because I love the game Mordhau. Mordhau is amazing.
Yeah, Jeff.
I'm still loving playing Phantasy Star.
That's an old game.
Yeah, even PSO2, which is still active, is an old game, but they just added a new class called Phantom.
To the original Phantasy Star Online?
No, a sequel. A sequel.
I've been playing a lot of Don't Starve IRL Urban Edition lately. It's pretty intense.
But
especially when I refuse to turn the lights on and then I just see dark hands grabbing for me.
Yeah, and
that's somebody breaking in.
But anyway, like I was saying, this new class Phantom, I'm flying around all over the damn place, switching between a katana and an assault rifle.
I don't think that could possibly get more cliche.
No.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Did you have big old titties?
No.
Oh.
But I've seen quite a few people in there that have tiggle bitties and a lot less clothing than you would expect.
Okay, see, Jeff, you were wrong. It can get more cliche.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I stand corrected.
I got my finger on the pulse of pop culture here, and it's clearly got an arrhythmia.
Indeed you do.
Yeah.
Indeed you do.
Well,
now I'm just thinking.
You know what? I've been trying to figure out for a while now. I've been trying to think of, for a while, some way that everybody in the Saints community can all hang out and participate in the same game. We've tried things like a Rust server. We've tried things like a Minecraft server. Well, we still have a Minecraft server. I thought maybe it would be hilarious to try and ruin Second Life for the rest of the world, and we could all do that together. But obviously, that's not going to work because not everybody can really handle the complexities of Second Life. I think I figured it out.
My wife could help with the Second Life one.
Yeah, but most people are not gonna pay the attention to get into Second Life. I know where we can all hang out. It's a free game. We can build our own little clubhouse and all hang out. We'll all be able to interact. Furcadia. That's right, Furcadia. Official Saints Dream Realm on Furcadia.
You know, Jeff, I gotta say, you've been making efforts to push the show further and further to the left. I don't necessarily know if the furry community is the way we need to go right now.
I mean,
yeah.
It would mean more viewers.
Well, no, but that is true, and they do have quite a bit of money, given the fact that they will spend thousands of dollars on wearable cum rags. So,
yeah. I now have to ask, Jeff, is there something you've been neglecting to tell everybody?
No, why?
Furcadia.
What about Furcadia?
Jeff's just never been the same since his second viewing of Zootopia.
Here's the thing. When I got together with my first girlfriend, I was 16, she was 22. She was into a bunch of really, really weird random stuff. She was never really a furry, but she liked some furry things, but it wasn't like an identity for her. She really liked video games where you could build stuff, and so she found out about Furcadia, and she got into it for a while, and so I kind of got into it with her for a while. But, I mean, I haven't touched it in, like, I don't know, 20 years or something. It's been a long time. However... It was a joke.
I know. I'm giving you shit for it.
Although, you know what's really sad, though, is she actually did spend real life money to make my avatar into, like, a dragon. It was a premium skin on it. And I had to pretend that I was really excited about it, because I really wasn't. I didn't care at all. Yeah, I felt real bad. But, I mean, I don't fucking care about that shit. Furcadia might not even still be up. I'm gonna look at this up.
No, well, not only that. I mean, here's the fun thing too: is we could like invite To the Rant and Griffin and be like, "No, I need to stay away from the furry community. They all call me Nazis." He's like, "No, don't worry. We're all Bolsonaro fans there."
Oh my dear sweet Lord, Furcadia is still a thing.
Well, here's one of the craziest things I've seen in Phantasy Star Online 2. The people wearing giant fucking swords.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I'm serious. They're wearing nothing but giant fucking swords.
Oh.
You know, I had a friend who actually made a small fortune designing horse dicks for Second Life.
Oh, yeah, no, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money on Second Life, period, even now. With the failing of the economy in it, yeah, like if you
the failing of the economy, the linden is worth more than the dollar. It's amazing.
No, it actually no. 100 linden, if I'm not mistaken, is like 89 cents, something like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like I said, my wife does a lot of Second Life. I know.
I liked the idea of Second Life is amazing. It's honestly really, really fucking amazing. It's a completely open world. You can make anything that you want. The only thing that really costs money is if you want to buy items that other people made or you want to rent land. You could do all sorts of crazy shit. It's a really, really awesome platform, and it was way ahead of its time for a long time. The problem with Second Life is that 95% of the people who go there are there to fuck.
Well, it's the thing. No, the problem with Second Life is that it lets people be their natural selves.
Yeah.
Just like the internet.
Which means
and when you
sex
give
rape.
people that, when you give people that option, it's like, I want to build a giant water slide where I jump in a person's mouth and then I get to pop out their asshole onto a beach.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, last time I was on Second Life, my buddy is like that same friend actually. I think you know him, Shrek Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was the one. He's like, I used to design so many things for Second Life, so many things. Lots of really good things I put a lot of effort into, and the only thing that ever made me money was horse cock.
Yeah.
And then, then he convinced me. He's like, I just want to show you something. Just download and install Second Life now. Put an account together, whatever, and just meet me, and just meet up with me there. I need to show you something. And yeah, it was a water park where the main slide was basically just this giant naked dude laid back over a cliff over a beach, and you jump in his mouth and it was a water slide through his intestines, and then you finally get to pop out of his asshole.
Okay, so when I was playing Second Life, I actually did do some design work. I made... I was really into cyberpunk and and what's the fucking the one, it's like cyberpunk but it has like elves and shit. Shadowrun. I was really into Shadowrun and cyberpunk and that sort of thing. I made an Aerodyne, or rather a flying car, but I didn't want to just have a flying car. I made a flying junker RV. So it was like my version of like a Winnebago in the future built out of trash. And I spent a long time on it, and I made it, and it was fucking great. And I flew that thing all over like a bunch of Sims and shit. People like all bathing on the beach and shit, and here comes this garbage scow of a fucking RV floating through the air. It's great. It's fun.
I have 3 quick points. One is that Second Life is also great because it gave us the channel Daniel from Second Life.
Yes.
Which is the single greatest gaming channel in the history of gaming channels.
There is none better. There's none fucking better. Yes, we're gonna look at something.
Can you repeat that in English? Yeah. But in addition to that, the other 2 things I wanted to point out, Jeff, is that please update the show with the appropriate title. which is manifest failure, by the way, which I really do think is appropriate because this entire show has been about, in addition to the ridiculous news items, tripping on hallucinogens and now Second Life.
Yes.
So, yeah, pure bottom of the barrel escapism, if you will. Much like Wednesday nights here on Twitch. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m.
And on that note, one of the things my wife's currently helping with is a wedding in Second Life.
Oh, dear.
I need to go become a divorce lawyer in Second Life.
Yes, that would be actually really good.
I got that
money.
wrong. She's working on a Beltane celebration. In Second.
I love Beltane. I miss being able to throw a Beltane party every year. I used to do that. Big camping trip. It's great.
I have no idea what that is.
Beltane?
May Day.
Yeah, it's May 1st. It's basically like a spring celebration sort of thing.
See, I hear May Day, and all I think is like
Celtic
labor
pagan.
rights.
Nah, it's like Celtic pagan festival. Lots of food, lots of friends, lots of dancing. Big bonfire. Big
nudity.
ceremonial bonfire. Beltane does not require nudity, but it is a good excuse to have an orgy. Sure.
Short of the sexual gratification, we used to have that here in Manchester, like every spring and fall when the firebugs would go out and set fires to all the old apartment buildings that people still lived in. And then they'd run out into the street screaming naked. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. I can see that.
The movie The Wicker Man was loosely based around Beltane. The original one.
Yeah.
With,
I can see
with
that.
Christopher.
So there's a lot of bees.
The original one with Christopher Lee.
Oh, Christopher Lee didn't have bees?
I don't know.
I would love a clip of Christopher Lee doing the Nicolas Cage, not the bees scene.
So, Enemy Moon, anything you want to share, promote, put out there into the world for us, buddy?
Well, nothing too much. I do want to say that one thing I'm working on and would like some advice and help with is starting my own hobby.
Yeah.
I got a name for it and everything. It's going to be Built to Scale Games and Hobby.
Okay. All right.
Good name. Because if nothing else, that reminds everyone who wishes to walk into the shop that it's a full-size, human-sized shop, and not just like a Warhammer model that you have to sort of stand around or be really small.
I love hobby shops. They're fucking great. So, like, best wishes to you, man. You should go get it. Go do it.
Yeah, so anyone who wants to discuss with me on ideas on how to, say, crowdfund it, just approach me in the server.
All right. Cool. All right, well, we love you, buddy. We will talk to you here in a little bit.
You know the funny thing, Jeff?
Cheers.
Later.
Do you know what my hobby shop is?
Huh?
Planned Parenthood.
I really saw that coming in slow motion. Larry Kubiak says, keeping in with our top fast food ranking. Don't know which chain this is, but it's lit. Fortunately, Nick can't hear it, but I can. Oh, yes, this is great.
I've seen this, yeah. See, I've done this with an apple and a snowball. It's kind of gross, though. Not so much the eating weed resin as much as just actually eating a McChicken. Oh God, I wish I could have gone to college.
Yeah, it's the face that does it. It really is. That is the face of somebody who is having a really good fucking time. Like after that first hit.
Yeah, and see, like he's clearly they're all living.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yes.
We need a clip of just him exhaling in that smile for like the $1 and $2 Streamlabs.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Holy shit. Remind me of that after the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing though too. With
hear me,
Elizabeth
or-
Warren telling us we need to get down with this free college stuff, and Bernie Sanders doing it too. Yeah, sure. Your rainbow-haired gender studies majors suck, but you know what? I'm perfectly fine with tax dollars going to pay for that trio to keep doing what they're doing.
Although the Colonel Sanders needs to like get some enthusiasm.
You can hear me, or
Yeah.
do you remember me?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we spoke like a couple of weeks ago.
I can recognise the voice.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Hey, do you know how to terraform?
Yeah, I know how to terraform. What, do you need help with that?
Yeah. Like, bring it right back to where we're standing. No, take it away so we can see the water.
Right.
We're not this far back, look.
Is this good, or?
Yeah, but we want it flat.
Okay.
Can't you see? Oh my god, hang on.
It's like a couple of mountains up here.
Yeah, you done that.
This is not what you wanted, right?
No.
There we go, like this.
Yeah.
Not what you wanted, right?
All right.
That's it, stop. There. That should be seen.
There we go, like this.
Yeah, up to them.
There we go.
Then we need to get mountains over there. This mountain.
Well, she's not looking. He's over on the other side of the
Be right
map.
back.
All right.
Oh my god.
Now there's loads of mountains again.
Sorry?
You can't see loads of mountains.
Oh, I see one. Yeah, I see one hill.
No, 1, 2, 2 over there, and all the bridges covered. Oh my god, you covered. Oh my god! You took all the land away that side.
Wait, what?
All the land's
What?
gone over the other side. Can you see off your desktop?
All right. Yeah, I can see.
Where's all my land gone? All my land's gone.
Was it supposed to be like that, or?
No, it's all land.
But it's water. I only see water.
I've got.
I only see water.
Yeah, that's meant to be. You've took it all away.
No?
Yes.
No.
The
You
puddles
took
are
it all
gone.
away. Yeah, and you've made loads of mountains and took all that side away. And there's all mountains everywhere.
Right.
You're gonna contact Linden Labs.
So Linden Labs did this, or they
No,
changed the configuration?
you did.
It's all like water for me.
It's water because all the land's disappeared.
It doesn't look that bad, actually.
I don't know how you're looking at your screen, but I see mountains all over that side, all around. All my land's disappeared.
Right.
All the hills and all this was land where all the water is.
Right. I
flat
remember this
land.
bridge. Okay, so what do you want me to do? Equalize some land, or?
Nothing. No. It's messed. I need to get hold of Linden Labs to do a rollback. I'm gonna have to shut my sim off because in case people come, they can't come to this.
Okay, I have to go. So.
No. The best one was his Rust series.
Oh yeah, but we can't fucking
Yeah.
play that
Oh,
on,
no,
on
yeah.
Twitch.
But
But
it's just like-
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So here's a bow and arrow. You got to hold the button. Wait, what?
And
Oh shit! There's someone outside. Opens the door. Hey man, stay outside.
It's so good. Daniel from Second Life is one of the best channels in the history of YouTube.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Quite easily. And hopefully us saying that means that he won't DMCA us when we upload this.
One cannot get to the sub to mouth. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. God damn. I am so pooped. I need to stop having the roundup around the Saints time. I need it like in between. Like there was one month I did the roundup. Like we did our Wednesday show, we did our Friday show, and the very next day I woke up hungover out of my fucking mind from doing Saints and had to do the roundup, and that was awful. And now today I did the roundup, and now I'm hungover and tired and trying to do the Saints. It's fucking
Yeah, you need
crazy.
to wait. I mean, just make the roundup on a Monday.
No. Sunday is fine. Sunday works good. Because more
What's wrong
people
with
can actually
Monday?
watch it. Well, it's a Monday. There's not that many people can watch it on Monday.
Like people are all eager to like lose sleep on a Sunday so they could get that peppy start to their week.
Well, I could do it early on a Sunday because most people probably aren't working. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Get out of church.
I don't know.
Do you want to just bring everyone who's left in the waiting room in before we go?
Do you?
Let's find out.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Can you repeat that in English?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. God.
Oh,
Not again.
no.
Oh, no.
Oh, what is this? Oh, my God.
I guess I'll take a break from homework.
What sweet fresh hell is that? Oh, and here's mouth. We gotta have mouth.
Nick, what have you done?
I didn't do it. No, this is Nick. Nick did this.
I know he did, but someone needs to say this. Nick, you should
be ashamed.
No, let's be very clear. Someone needs to say this. Someone needs to say this. Nick, you shut your goddamn mouth.
About what?
You just shut up.
That doesn't make sense, Mal.
Oh, rude.
This is the fourth time this has happened to me.
Hi, Nick. Hi, Jeff. I'm going to give you a proper look.
Jeff is always too nice to say it. Nick, you shut your goddamn mouth.
About what?
Nah, it's fine.
In general.
In general, well, should I say the same thing to you then?
He's so mouthy.
So are you. The first thing you get in here is your mouthing off. Like, just because your name is Mouth, it doesn't mean you need to be mouthing off to people.
I mean,
That's
well,
right.
it's literally his
It
name.
doesn't mean that yours should be open.
Oh, damn.
Well, I'm going to say hi, Jeff. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
A proper hello.
Listen,
I
I
already
didn't,
said hello.
I didn't fucking tune into the Saints for this negativity, alright, guys? Come on.
No,
You just have to lower your expectations.
Yeah, that's kind of
By the
what
way,
that's
Nick,
kind of what you
thanks-
have to do.
Thanks
Yeah.
for all the extra work. So, great.
Yeah, this all falls on
That's-
James' shoulders.
Fine by me.
How are you, Nick? How are you, Jeff? How are you, Chables? How are you, Addy? How are you, Mel?
I'm great.
So what you
I'm
guys
good.
are saying
Nick
is
is
we need
using
to blame
hand
the Jew?
signals, so...
Nick isn't even. Nick
I'm
isn't
doing sign language interpretation. Thank you very much.
I'm.
No, you're not. It's terrible. I actually know some sign language. You're god awful.
Oh,
If you
God.
can't
may be
see
awful,
what
but
I'm
it's
saying with
attempting.
my hands, then it's translating everything that's being said correctly.
I
didn't
know
even...
lesbian and lunch are very similar, and hungry and horny are very similar, and people constantly confuse them. So when someone says, "I'm hungry for lunch," there's a chance they'll really be saying is, "I'm horny for lesbians."
I didn't even realize ASL had racial epithets.
Oh.
I'm just gonna brandish my sword like I'm in the Rock of
Yeah,
Ages
now Jeff
music
has a
video.
Jeff is just like living out his 80s music video fantasies.
That's right.
That's fucking great.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rock of Ages, still a rolling. Rock of Ages, keep it rolling.
The clan! Fight the clan!
So
Grand Stark walks again!
Oh, God.
so
you a
Nick, did you
god
watch
and
Anthony
turns-
Jeselnik's new special yet?
No, it's on Netflix, and oh, I get it. Funny.
No, that's okay. Oh, I had the same problem with Netflix that you were having. All you have to do is like wait 10 minutes and then try to sign in again.
I've been waiting 10 minutes for 2 weeks.
You've been waiting 10 minutes for 2 weeks?
I called
Okay.
them last night, and they said wait 24 hours.
Ah,
You did.
This thing is so.
assholes.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I'll sign in. I'll try to sign in using my phone on a mobile data plan because they're like, maybe it's your ISP, sir. Try a different device. I'm like, yeah, okay, we can do that. Oh, look, it doesn't work. Well, you can wait 24 hours, so we could just cancel your account.
Jeff, you're too nice to your wife. And by your wife, I mean your internet wife. Nick.
Well, Nick, if you want to watch it tonight, I'm gonna host a rabbit and play it for everybody in the server. So.
Be down for that.
This is how I not imagine to talking to you guys again.
You know, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh,
I'm
hey.
just sitting here in the crib, listening to all y'all freak out and stuff. So, also,
the most
the
important
fact
thing
that you almost didn't buy that makes me upset, Jeff. The fact that you almost had to buy that and you had to ask Twitter whether or not you should buy that.
Well,
That
I'm
just a
easily
vibe.
impressionable, man. I'm easily impressionable, and like sometimes I don't know
Well-
if I can trust myself.
Also,
Okay,
Jeff,
but
I love your
it's
tramp
phase
stamp.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about my tramp stamp. No,
I
absolutely
watched
not.
it this morning.
It's
I
not
loved
that bad. If anything, it looks like a target.
I know, dude. Listen. I cannot believe nobody made that fucking joke. It looks like a fucking bullseye. For somebody to spunk.
The jokes are being made in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, I get.
You just
guess
missed
I
it
didn't
because
see
it was
man.
well. Yeah, it was
It
well.
was while your back was turned.
Yeah.
Hey,
hang on.
Jeff, the tattoo on your right shoulder,
Fucking Rimshy with the clutch.
Listen,
it looked like a rake.
in fairness, everyone, in fairness, right? So when Jeff got that tattoo, he was still really heavy into his bi phase, but also hadn't, gone through sex ed enough to know that you can't get pregnant and you don't need to pull out.
Can we talk about Robotnik now?
I have no idea. I'm innocent in this. I'm just your ASL interpreter.
I'm watching Jeff, and this is his new
I'm just
look
playing
now.
Mortal Kombat.
Wasn't that a thing from last year, Nick, where like some dude was like doing like the ASL translation for some like big like presidential
Christ.
thing?
Yeah.
And it turned out he
Yeah.
didn't actually know what he was doing.
And he got arrested.
I applied for that job too, and I'll say, as somebody who's faked his way into more jobs than he deserves and has probably been arrested more than that guy, I could have done both of those things 10 times better.
Yeah, probably.
There's also a lady arrested recently for the same thing, and she's done it like 15 to 20 different times.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, she's done it like 15 times.
See, listen, I mean, the only time I get arrested for hand gestures is when I'm at, what's that thing called? An arraignment. So they don't appreciate that shit. That's why I think they put you in a box and keep you dressed all in orange.
Oh god, I want to make a joke, but I know I'm gonna go to hell for it.
It's like, you have the right to remain
You're already going to hell.
It's like, you have the right to remain silent. Fine.
Who says you're not already in hell?
Addie,
All right,
yeah, and
so-
Addie, you're Twinkie gay boy. You're gonna go to hell anyways.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you've already got a room in my ranch house.
Yeah, listen, you guys already went through purgatory, aka the waiting room, so welcome to the Midweek Saints.
Gay lady.
Yeah.
No, Purgatory was the internet in the 90s.
I should sing some Krista Bergerac just for
Oh, Jeff.
Purgatory.
Jeff, I made a
Manchester
joke
Ranch.
earlier when you were black and white. You looked like 1980s Frankenstein.
I can see that. Yeah.
By the way, I actually had a question, Jeff. When you said you knew what video I sent you, have you actually seen Big Money Hustlers?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh god, Big
You
Money.
seen
Oh
that?
no.
Oh my god. That's one of my favorite intentionally bad movies ever. Partially
Yeah.
because the entire movie, other than Shaggy's lines, are completely ad lib.
Listen, this is more important. This is more important. All right, listen. I'm gonna serenade Addie right now.
Oh no. Oh god.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, with a classic song by Sir Kenny Rogers, Night of the Realm.
Not the life.
No.
Bring it, Jeff.
No.
Bring it.
Sir Kenny Rogers of the Realm.
Oh god. Oh
Everyone
god, it's my
silence
brother's
for the
wedding all
star
over again.
himself. Let him sing.
Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you. You have made me what I am, and I am yours.
This read
I wish I could see my own face right now.
My love.
Oh god, there's more.
There's so many ways I want to say I love you. Let me hold you in my arms for evermore. Dramatic pauses, man.
Evermore.
Does anybody know how
Get
to...
in this, Nick. Get in this.
No, I was curious if anybody knew how to do the sign language sign.
You have gone, made me such a fool. I am so lost in your love.
This is genius. Actually, no. Here's the thing. This is genius.
It took a minute, but
no.
yeah, we're in hell
hang on,
right
but
now.
when this video goes up on
always
YouTube,
there.
no one will want to claim it.
Oh, please.
There was
Man, I ain't responsible for this shit.
This is how we beat. This is how we beat censorship. This is how we do it.
This is how we beat.
Oh, please, I'll claim it. I don't care.
So, like, if you would have told me a year ago that one Wednesday night in the middle of the fucking shitty ass work week, my favorite YouTuber would be serenading me on a live stream, I would have been like, that's fucking awesome and a dream come true. No, I want to die. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
YouTuber now, for fuck's sake.
Thanks, I hate it.
You're welcome. No, that's great. Anyway,
this is what I got to do if I want to improve.
You
my
can do it to me anytime.
I know, right?
If I want to improve my own numbers, all I have to do is jump on other people's shows and convince them to sing.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all you got to do. All right, so everybody who is joining us in the live show chat, we love you. Thank you very much for everybody who out there in the world watching us live. Anybody watching my shame in the future, thank you so much for joining us. We have been the Midweek Saints. Join us on Friday on the YouTube channel.
Will I able to come next Friday?
What? We're all gonna come next Friday. What are you talking about? That's doing the orgy.
I
don't think I'll be able to make it. I have
We're all just gonna fucking sperm all over each other. That's what we're gonna do. But yeah, no, we'll see you guys on Friday. Otherwise, we'll see you back here next week for the Midweek Saints. We love you. Good night. Go fuck yourself. We're gonna tongue kiss later. Bye bye bye. No. We're done. No, fuck off.